year, and we've seen the country has changed, politics have changed, and media has changed. We've gone from a system where the mainstream media controlled everything to where we understand there's a better way to connect with you. And that's what we've tried to do in this podcast.
Welcome to our podcast era. In honor of that, for the year-end special, for Christmas and the holidays, we wanted to reach out to everybody that had been a part of our radio show, and some people that are just our friends. Some of them are elected officials, and some of them are just people that hung out with us. But we wanted to ask them what was great about this year and what are our hopes for the future.
This is something we want you to very much be a part of it. Go ahead and comment. If there are things about this year that stood out for you, let us know about it. Put it in the comments.
Yeah, go ahead and put it in the comments and what you hope for the future in 2025 as well. Let's get started.
Well, it's been incredibly busy, and it started with Thanksgiving, where we reached our peak numbers for any Thanksgiving, and we were overwhelmed with parking, but we were able to meet all the demand and get everybody there and back home safely.
Okay, we know we've had a lot of wins at the airport this year. What do you think is the biggest win you had in 2024 here?
I think the biggest win are just the projects that we have here, and being able to bring last year's projects to fruition and move on to the next year, which will be starting with a new concourse. So we're looking forward to that.
Okay.
About $90 million. But in reality, we have it very well here. We have a great team here, and the team's everything, and that's the most important aspect that I like when coming to work every day, is working with such a great team. Well, something we like to do here at the airport is bring some of our local performers here during Christmas season, and you might be able to see some of them here in just a few minutes, but the children's choir is here, and we just like to wish everybody a festive holiday, and that's one of our ways of doing that.
I think Bruce Beach accesses a beach to all citizens, race, gender, economics. So you don't have to go across two bridges to get to the beach. And I think that really opens up an area. It also celebrates the history, particularly of the African-American community. When you look at the history, it's an integrated playground. So I think Bruce Beach was really amazing. And that all came, from Civicon, which Mayor Reeves actually was involved with Bruce Beach. He's the one that walked the skate people through this organization and did the workshop. So I think Bruce Beach is a monumental accomplishment for our community.
Yes. Improved on.
I think the city, I think certainly in the county level, there's still confusion on LFA. And I think, to me, not having an RFP process, it's a tough thing to do. So I think when you have that many people interested in investing, if you don't do it well, eventually you might lose them. But it's a complex issue, but I think that's one that comes to mind. We want every child ready for kindergarten. 80 to 85% of the person's potential in learning is built from age 0 to 3. Dr. John A. List, the #1 research economist in the world, University of Chicago, says you can tell the long-term future of a community based on kindergarten readiness. We are at 50%. Now we've moved up from 43, so we've making progress, but that means still 50% of our children go into kindergarten behind. That's very difficult for teachers, and the children get disillusioned. They know they're not catching up. They fall farther behind. So I think kindergarten readiness would be the wish that I would give not only every child in Escambia County, but every child in the world. Well, I think I always wish for people's health, because if you don't have health, you don't have anything else. And because of my healthcare background, I bet you every 2 weeks I get a text from someone saying, "Can you help me get into care?" access is so hard. In the Escambia County, access is hard no matter what, but if you have a mental health issue, it's almost impossible. Can you imagine having a crisis situation? So I think we've made great progress in mental health. I think Michelle Salzman's mental health task force has really done good work, but we have such a long way to go. So I think people want three things: access to medical care, good expertise, and good experience. Well, if they can't have access, they can't get the expertise or the experience.
Prediction. I forgot. Yes.
Well, I got this from Rishi's family. Rishi's family, at Christmas, they call it grab bags. And everybody gets the new things, but things like on sale, $30, now 10 or 5. So everybody brings gifts. They wrap them up, and then you grab a gift out of a bag. Then you look at it, sight unseen, and then you go out and you try to trade it. And you go sight unseen, and people just have a ball. And it's just wonderful seeing little children just love doing these grab bags. So I think it's our tradition, is the whole grab bag tradition.
Hello, Pensacola. 360 Marketing would love to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a prosperous 2025.
This year.
See, I think we hit it out of part one in tourism. I mean, tourism numbers have been increased. I think we hit it out the out the park with the Sun Belt basketball tournament. I mean, we brought people from all around the world, not around the world, but all across the Southeast with the Sun Belt basketball tournament here in Pensacola at the Bay Center to bring that type of excitement in basketball to Pensacola. We're known for football and baseball, but we hit it out the park with that. This year for me, in partnership with Quint Studer in DC Reeves in the city, we hit it out the park with the Soul Bowl, the largest Little League football game probably in the country. We always hit the state, to bring 5,000 people downtown who were a part of a covenant with the community to find that inclusiveness in this polarized political world, and to bring young people and all people downtown was great. So, I mean, I just tell you, when we wrap it up, Sun Belt, Soul Bowls, and tourism. Listen, I think we have to get rid of the petty politics. I think we have to recognize that it doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. I think it's very important that we stop trying to get you and stop trying to hurt people and to be mean. I think that we can improve on just relationships and understanding that we don't have to all agree on every single item, but we don't have to be mean to each other. And I think in this political climate that we live in, people think because you're mean, you're winning. I think that if you're humble and you're nice, you win. And so I think that we can improve on relationships and communications. And that's something that I strive to do each and every day, is to be a better communicator and to better understand and to learn to forgive when others do us wrong. I think if there's one thing that I would love to get from Santa, is the elimination of partisan politics across our county, across our state, and getting people to understand that we're all in this together. And so one thing that I would say from Santa is just love. I mean, love one another and do unto your neighbor as you would have them to do unto you. And so if Santa was giving me a gift, I would just want the gift of love that I could spread to all my community. I cherish every year since I was about 14 years old. Every year I've been able to give out Christmas toys to deserving children and be able to give out food to deserving seniors. And, I've continued that tradition of handing out toys, handing out turkeys, ham, food, feeding children. It's the greatest part of the year for me. As my father often said, it's more blessed to give than to receive. And I want the tradition to be able to continue to bless others as God has blessed me.
I think we've had several. I would say all of the grant money that we've been able to bring in, and all the grant projects that we're putting out the door, from Restore grants to Arbor grants to Rebuild grants. I mean, we put out $100 million worth of projects. We probably brought in over $100 million worth of grant money.
Wow.
And tracking that and keeping up with it and continuing to chase those grants. I think that's a big initiative, continue to be a big initiative for us. And then just trying to tell our story out into the community. You know, you hear so much negative things these days. Social media, 95% of the time, it's not accurate. What gets posted. So doing a better job telling our story. I think we need to do a better job of that. And so that'll be an initiative, and just continue to drive the work and tell our story. That's mainly it.
You know, do your family, maybe growing up or with over the years, what's your family's holiday tradition? What is something that y'all do?
Well, we get usually these days. It's you just sitting around reminiscing about memories and past Christmases. When we were kids, it was, or my kids were little, St. Anne's Roundup was still going and had the lights and all, and we would go on Christmas Eve and tour around, walk around, see the lights and drink hot chocolate and those things. And then we'd come back and have Christmas the next day, do a big Christmas meal. So,
all right. If one last question, if Santa was to come and deliver a present to Escambia County, what would you like to have that present be?
The selling of OLFH. Please, let's sell it.
Good deal. All right.
It's a great question, Sienna. You know, I think Pensacola in 2024 has really kind of come together as a community. I think we're finally starting to see the growth that started, years ago with the changing government, and we're really starting to see, kind of what Pensacola become with the airport growth, American Magic, Hollis T. Williams, and then the great things that are going on in the county, finally getting some movement on OLF8 and those type of things. I think we're really, just starting to see kind of the growth and the opportunity of what Pensacola can become in the next 10 years. I think that's a good question. I think we got a lot of good things going in Pensacola. I just think, it's a conversation I've been having recently. I just hope people in Pensacola continue to think big. I think we've had a lot of success and we continue to have success, but I just hope we don't get stagnant and go back and just continue to think big and have big ideas going forward.
This is the one I'm calling the economic development question, because everybody's pretty much said the same thing. And that is, if Santa could put something in its sled for 2025, what would you see and bring Pensacola?
I would love for Pensacola to get something done. I would love to see a partnership with American Magic and some other companies, kind of some of that high-tech industry that we've been after for a while, kind of finally materialize and grow here in partnership with IHMC and other great partners we have, but really with American Magic coming here and opening in 2025, some of those high-tech partners coming in. So growing up, I always went to the Nutcracker Ballet with my family, so always going to see the Nutcracker at the Sanger, which is a beautiful, venue in and of itself, has always been a special thing. And just, how Pensacola, I always say Pensacola loves a party. So just had the great atmosphere and the environment and the holiday spirit in Pensacola is unrivaled anywhere else. It's been a great year in 2024, and I'm excited for what's going to happen in 2025. And wish everybody in Pensacola and Escambia County a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Ken, thanks for checking in. How's it going?
Things are good. Can't really complain. Can't really complain at all. We've just been busy, and we're taking a break for the holidays. And then we start up again. Cowboy Mouth starts up again at the end of January in San Diego on the 23rd.
I love San Diego. Where are you playing at in San Diego?
Belly Up.
Yeah, cool. It's just
we played there last January. We had a private party come up, and so we booked the Belly Up on a Sunday night, thinking there might be 20 or 30 people in there asking for, free bird or something like that, and it was packed. It was sold out. It was great. It was like, okay, guess we don't have to play free bird tonight, guys.
No free bird. No, because the San Diego is really cool. And because, Pensacola is a Navy town, I have all these girlfriends that like married pilots, and I always have somebody in San Diego. I always have a close friend in San Diego anytime. So I love going there.
Well, San Diego is just a great city. I mean, it has a vibe that's similar not only to Pensacola, but it also has a vibe that's very similar to New Orleans.
It does. Old Town. That's true.
Both of those cities are basically their own towns.
let's talk about the year in retrospect. What do you think the theme of 2024 was for you guys?
Holy crap, we survived.
Well, I know Alternate Reality was on my Spotify rap for the year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. That song did us a lot of favors. We got a lot of good airplay around the country, and yeah, it did really well for us. And audiences are still loving it. We're still loving playing it, so no complaints there, baby.
And what is your, if Santa could put something in his sled for the country, for everybody next year, what is your wish for 2025?
If Santa could put anything in the sleigh for the country, for the world, it would be, honestly, peace.
Yeah.
Everybody's been messed with on so many different levels for so long. It would be nice to just have some peace,
It would be cool.
Without people pointing fingers, without people saying you're this or the other person saying you're that. Everybody accusing everybody of this and that. Everybody not getting along because of this difference or that difference. The thing about it is like underneath we all bleed red, no matter what your sexual preference is, your skin color is, your economic line is, it's we all bleed red. We're all on this little planet. And we've been messed with by the people at the top of the food chain for long enough. Let's just get some peace. Get some peace.
Nice to be chill. We were talking a little bit about San Diego being like New Orleans. What are some of your New Orleans memories? I mean, do you have traditions of things you've done at Christmas time?
Some of my best New Orleans memories are things that I can't remember.
Yeah, of course.
Look, I'm looking very forward to Mardi Gras because that's like a big deal for me. I just love it, and the band is probably going to end up playing there. The best New Orleans memories are the memories I haven't made yet.
That sounds good.
People always ask me, what's the best Cowboy Mouse show you've ever played? And I always say, the next one.
The next one.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, God bless, and let's make 2025 one of the best years ever. Thank you for everything, Cena, and congratulations to the store. Please tell Tony and his wife, Jan, hello. I missed his birthday, so that makes me a terrible, terrible friend. But just tell him I said happy birthday and all that good stuff. And I'm looking forward to coming back to Pensacola in that area very, 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 very soon. We just had a great, fun show at the Vinyl. Looking forward to coming back down there. Other than that, the name of the band is
Cowboy Mouth.
There you go.
About this year are the people, the regulars, the visitors, the people that love Pensacola. It's a wonderful city. We're one of the top 10 cities in the United States, and I love to see new people.
What can we do better?
We could do something about the parking. We've worked for 30 years to build downtown back up for what it used to be. We shouldn't punish people to come down and visit and enjoy what we worked so hard to build.
Wow, I don't know if it's the best thing, but I turned into a senior citizen. 65, I can retire. You can't hit me, it'll be a felony. Let's see, what else I got going for me?
You can get discounts.
I don't know. Yeah, I get free coffee. I guess I got to find out where to go for that. Let's see, is that always the thing? 65 this year. I got things for the whole year. I think that might be. Yeah, that's probably. I turned 65. What they say, better to be 6 feet up than 6 feet under.
The sinkholes filled at Garden and Barinkas. And Barinkas and me. Those would be lovely.
You know, I'm a liberal Democrat, so health care for all.
My favorite Christmas memory in Pensacola is going to the late service at First United Methodist Church, which I think was at like 10 o'clock. and we would take the girls there when they were younger and as they got older. But it was mainly a musical service. But at the end of the service, they would dim all the lights. They'd pass candles out to everybody, actual candles, not the battery-operated ones, but with flames. They dim all the lights, and then to close the service, we would sing Silent Night, a cappella. And then at the end of the song, nothing else was said. You just blew out the candles, and everybody just left the church.
I think the big story is politics, no question about it. I mean, just what we saw on the national scene was, unprecedented in many ways. And then locally, seeing Congressman Gates step away. And then also what we saw in Santa Rosa and Escambia counties with, like, for example, the county commissions. So a lot of change on the horizon. It's going to be interesting to watch 2025. I would say I would love to see us attract more larger companies into this area so that we can continue to keep the folks who grow up here in this area. And I know that's changed a lot in recent years because of work for home and things of that nature, but I would love to see us have, of course, Navy Federal is huge, but I would love to see us have another big industry or another large company that could continue to support Pensacola and Northwest Florida and grow, and where young people could have great jobs and well-paying jobs.
Is there you're Pensacolian. Is there a Christmas tradition when you think about Christmas in Pensacola? Do y'all have one?
That's a great question. I did. I grew up in Pensacola, so I've always had, family here, and we've kind of done our thing. I think in recent years, we've kind of enjoyed doing, downtown, the Winterfest event. Had an opportunity to bring our grandchildren in town from up north of Atlanta this year, and come down and go to Winterfest, and, we did the little Polar Express ride through downtown, and that was fun. And of course, they had a good time, downtown. I just think it's really cool what's happening down there with the level of vibrancy and people just interacting and going to the restaurants and the bars and things of that nature. But personally, I think it's probably just our family, celebrating on Christmas Eve and then on Christmas Day.
I feel like getting American Magic signed up and ready to go. I think that's going to be huge for us. A great Christmas present. As a matter of fact, some of the team members are going to be here on December 27th, back full time as permanent residents. So, good Christmas present for our community.
All right, what's the biggest swing and a miss?
Oh man, getting used to the things taking a little longer than they did in my private life. I would say maybe really not any one. I think it's just 2 years in, I'm getting acclimated, not by inaction but things just don't move as quickly and as nimble as when you own your own business. And so probably some delays, I would say, in things not getting done this time, red light cameras or motor lodge, some things that are great, but take a little longer than I hoped.
So if Santa were to make a stop at City Hall, what would be the one big present you'd like to see Santa make?
Well, hopefully he'd appreciate all the new council chambers and the second floor of Hagler Mason when he came down whatever chimney that it is. But what I feel like he would feel like we're joyous in that our employee engagement scores are up. I feel like we tried to create a great place to work, a financially competitive place to work. And so hopefully we would be on the good list. No coal for us. I think we wouldn't be on the naughty list.
All right, good.
Yeah, I would say I do remember because my mom worked at the Waterfront Mission. We would serve Christmas right where the brew-through was. We would serve Christmas dinner or Christmas lunch every Christmas day with her. And then to me, we were always a real tree family. So going to pick out the real tree, not like Clark Griswold, but like the more tame version. Going to Bailey's and getting a tree. And I always, that was always a great memory for me, is going to have that experience of picking out our tree. Wish for 2025 is I love an engaged community. That doesn't mean we always have to agree, but I think at the end of the day, to make this the city that we want it to be, the more engaged you are, whether that's coming to council meetings, whether that's reading our local newspapers, whether that's listening to podcasts and radio stations, whatever way you want to do it, at the end of the day, we're all better when we're all engaged and we all care about this community and show it. And so that would be my wish, is the more engaged you can be in making Pensacola better, we all can play a role in that. And so I'm excited for 2025 and all the great things we have to come.
Okay.
Well, welcome to the first time all three of us have been on the podcast. We don't color on the dog. We've got Walker Wilson.
Good to be
We've got Cena Walker. Good to have you here. Cena, we've got you. You're the producer of this.
I'm so embarrassed that nobody else wore their tiara. Now, Walker, you said you were going to wear your tiara.
Yeah, mine's still getting polished up at Jewelers Trade, so
You can't wear tiaras at Christmas. When can we wear them?
Well, the thing that I wanted to talk about, and I hate to bring it up, Walker, but, I think you may have fudged your resume. Maybe your time at Mar-a-Lago wasn't as good as you thought, because you're not getting any phone calls. You didn't get Bahamas. You're not getting Puerto Rico. You're not even going to be, you're not even going to be an ambassador to Candyland.
I got nothing out of this.
You got nothing out of this. Nothing. Maybe you should have done a few more text messages. That might have helped.
That might have been it. Oh, no.
Of course, we had the Tropicana implosion, which was a big thing in Walker's world, I know.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Bad day.
Hey, Taylor Swift, that concert was unbelievable. And a lot of the people from here went to Miami, Nashville, New Orleans. We had quite a few hit it a lot of different directions.
Of course, we had the bear story. We all remember the bear that Walker ran over in New York City when he was up there for the wedding, and RFK, had to hide it in Central Park.
In the back of the car.
That's it.
Yeah, and it was just like, I know you're really worried about it, and he's like just sort of took care of the problem for you. That was kind of a good thing.
Yeah, who knew he would just take it to Central Park, though, and do whatever he did with it after that.
He was going to skin it and eat it, I guess. So.
Yeah. For health reasons.
Right. Yeah.
For health reasons. So, yeah.
Eating roadkill is very healthy.
Well, it's been an interesting year for politics. I think that we saw 2 new county commissioners put in. City council stood pat. For the first time, our sheriff, I don't think we've ever had a sheriff not get challenged in an election, but particularly after just one term. I mean, it was unheard of for Chip to get by without any challenger, which, I think is a really good sign for him, as well as for the agency. So you didn't have that turmoil of people having to pick sides of who they were going to go with. I think that's made a big difference. So locally, I think we still got to wait and see what county government looks like. They met past midnight last week. So what is that going to be? Will they figure out how to work together? The hard thing to do, and they've got to understand sunshine law, and they have to really listen to each other to try to figure out where everybody is on an issue, and then figure out how to come with at least 3 people for it. And their first attempt to do that under Mike Kohler as the chairman was pitiful. So we'll see how that plays out. Walker, you're going to have a whole lot going on with downtown, the new Palafox plan. Of course, parking's been raised. They're looking at a parking garage. Pickleball should be opening next year downtown. That could be huge. And then, of course, American Magic is coming, and we've got 2 regattas and foiling week. So downtown Pensacola is going to be hopping from the start of Mardi Gras on.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you just mentioned those big projects that are going to be going on, but I mean, even looking at Mardi Gras and what, Danny Zimmerman and that whole crew are doing to continue each year to elevate what's
Mhm.
going on with Mardi Gras. It's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds this year. I mean, you get done with New Year and you think you can rest, and then it's 12th night on January 6th, and you're like right into Mardi Gras season with all the Mardi Gras balls going on. And, they've got Lil Jon and Young Jock coming down to the Base Center for the Mardi Gras Mambo. And then Foiling Week is going to coincide with Mardi Gras this year. So that'll be interesting to see how that also
Right.
unfolds. And their big event down at Maritime Park will be the Saturday and Sunday of Mardi Gras. And we're actually, the only Saturday we don't have the Palafox Market is that Saturday of Mardi Gras. But they have invited the Palafox Market vendors to come down and set up that Saturday and Sunday at Maritime Park and give them an opportunity to, sell some products and show everybody that's in from out of town what Pensacola has to offer. Kaylin will still be off work that day, so no worries. She will get her Mardi Gras weekend.
Well, and then we got Comic-Con coming, and then the Sun Belt basketball tournament right behind that. And the shoulder season isn't slow anymore. It's slowest it's going to be is right now during the Christmas holiday.
Him and see if we can get him on. That'll be fun.
Walker, when you look at coming up in the next, well, let's look at this past year. What for the DIB? What did you see some of the big highlights for y'all this past year?
Yeah, I think just the first full year of having Palafox Market open at Plaza Ferdinand was a huge success. The addition of a trolley service on Saturday during the market to get people back and forth, which we now see that Park Pensacola has implemented a trolley system on the weekends on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. And I think they're utilizing the same route that we do for the market on Saturdays. We installed the art installation right there on Garden Street, kind of surrounding our trash compactor, which was a fun project. And then I rolled out another successful year with the All I Want campaign, which we still have going on through Sunday and encouraging folks to shop small. We got the Christmas lights that went up. We were trying to do a repast dinner, but had to reschedule it. So that'll have to hopefully be on the under the success column for 2025. We got a good board right now that I think are really getting their feet under them. They were fairly new, most of them. And so I think they're starting to really kind of get in their groove and understand kind of what their role wants to be as a board together, which is good. We had I think Jennifer Breyer was a huge advocate for us with the city. As her term on city council, she was representing the city on the DIB board. And so she's now moved on. We've just welcomed Allison Patton, has joined the DIB board, which will be nice because she represents the downtown area. So she's a little closer every day with those issues. But I think it was good to have somebody like Jennifer from the Scenic Heights area and the north end of the city to be with us and really be able to help kind of spread that message and have a better understanding of what the DIB does and how we're trying to keep downtown, promote it, and make it the best place we can and safest place we can for folks to come down here.
Having those steady hands and, because both Jennifer and Allison are very analytical in how they look at things. Allison's going to bring that to the table. I think it makes for a strong board. Well, the thing that I've got on the table for next year is, if everything comes together, I have finished the book on the Community Maritime Park, the real history, how it happened, how it came together, how the referendum vote happened, and all the different players and all the different subplots. It reads almost like fiction because it's a lot like Walker Holmes himself, but it is based on the interviews with people. It was 20 years ago. I interviewed a lot of the people that were involved. I went through all our articles. That's when we started the blog. I found the blog post, went through all the news journals articles, scoured through other things that were written in other places. And I'm real excited about it. I think that once we add the photos and some of the pieces to it, I think it's going to be something that it's going to be the history, the retelling of it. And so I'm real excited about it. I don't know when we'll get it out. It's in the editor's hands now. That's just the first draft being edited. So, hopefully by the spring we'll have it out. But I'm real excited about it. So I think it's the future.
Walker, these are the questions that I've asked everybody. So I'm going to ask you and Rick too. What was our great win this year?
Oh, man.
Well, I've been saying American Magic, and but we hadn't quite, we've got to get them here and get the headquarters. What may be the longest, the thing is getting our Pensacola Bay and Perdido Bay estuary system on the National Registry. I think that could be huge for us, in that it opens up federal dollars. It gets us just so much more we can do and really take care of our waterways. So I think with Matt Posner and Grover Robinson had a big hand in it, Escambia County helped. It's a quiet story now, but it's going to have some legs to it.
And I think just from a city's perspective, I think those two things are absolutely huge. But I think just seeing the city government, the council members and the mayor working together in a cohesive manner. And of course, there's not going to be agreements 100% of the time, but it does seem like they've got a good team in place over there to really move the vision of what they've got for this city forward. And I think they've got the support of the citizens for the large majority of, and I think you see that when you get 2 council members reelected into office, or 3 council members reelected into office, that there's really this cohesiveness. The citizens like what's going on with the city. And so I think that's a huge positive, even though we're not going to agree all the time, but at least we're moving in the right direction.
Right.
Okay. If Santa could put one thing in his sled for Pensacola, what would you like to see him bring us for 2025?
I'll take a corporate headquarters in downtown Pensacola with a bunch of, jobs for young, educated folks to be able to move back here and call Pensacola home again, and don't feel like they've got to move away. And that's slowly starting to change and has over the past 15 years. But that'd be the one thing I think for me.
Yes, that's
I
sort
would
of
like to see books put back into school libraries. That would be, let's just a whole big bag of books and put them in the libraries, and let's quit spending tax dollars on just a stupid lawsuit that they won't settle on.
They've been one of the things I've been hearing a lot of is even at Ivy League schools, these kids are coming in and they can't read a book in a week because they've never had to. And just the fact that they can read a book is great.
Well, and it just opens yourself up to a lot of ideas, and ideas that you may agree with and not agree with, but you get different viewpoints. It's not indoctrination to read For Whom the Bell Tolls or The Great Gatsby or Shakespeare. You do learn how to write. You do learn how to write by reading good writing.
Yeah, and it's not just here. I have a very good friend in Alabama that was fired from her job for teaching The Color Purple. And she had the books in her classroom, so she thought it was okay.
Definitely.
Okay, and the last one was growing up in Pensacola. What are some of the traditions or memories from when you were a kid that you always think about and you always remember? It could be about Pensacola or just in general.
One thing I can always remember is I went to Scenic Heights Elementary School. I don't remember if I was in 4th or 5th grade, but our principal's name was Miss Dolker, and she had come to school, I guess, the night before. It was like our last day of, that first semester, right? And it must have been freezing, and she put a hose in the top of the tree, and so we got to school, and it was this magical. The whole tree was like covered in ice. And everyone was like, how did this happen? And then slowly throughout the day, it came out that it was our principal that had climbed down the ladder and had left the water on all night so that the tree would be made of ice when we got to school the next day.
Podcast era. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Now, I know Walker's cousins are watching because they're going to watch anything he does. So if you're a cousin of Walker's, or even if you're like a play cousin, you just want to be one of Walker's cousins. If you just dream about being one of Walker's cousins, I want you to go right now and leave us a comment at the bottom, but also subscribe because you're helping us bring more content and get more interviews and do that. So we really appreciate if you would subscribe to the show and give us a little like there for Christmas. All we want for Christmas is a subscription and a like. So we appreciate you.
Well, Sina, thank you for putting this together and doing this show. It's been fun. We'll have to figure out how to do this again. We'll get better at it each time we do it, but I thought this was great.
Well, it looks like we're going to have a studio. So
yeah,
just wait. That's what Santa's bringing us for the new year. So
All right.
just wait.
All right. Well, everybody have a great holiday.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.